Lifestories Live.
And you need someone to guide you in this world. And it was difficult for me to receive that concept, but because I was not a faith guy. But this guy who was talking to me, he had enough faith to lend me some. He was so sure the way he was presenting and the way he was showing me how to find a life through Jesus. And since I tried 2 different ways to find an answer for my life, and I failed, why not accepting his suggestions? And he said to me, I offer you to help you. Do you want really to solve your life? And I said, yes. And do you want me to help you? I said, yes, I accept that. Well, let me guide you in a prayer, but the prayer is not the magic words that is going to take you to solve your problems. The prayer is a decision that comes out of your heart. You're going to ask the Lord to come into your life and help you. So he started praying and saying those words. And so I started to repeat them in front of the 20 people that were there. In front of them, I was the only one doing that. It was not an altar call for everybody. That day, the Lord dedicated that night to me. And I did this invitation, and I opened my heart, but I was not sure I was doing the right thing, but I was trying. And so everybody applauded, and I seated, and they started giving like a lecture, a Bible lecture about receiving Jesus. And finally the meeting ended, and I went home. But I went home and I was really satisfied what I did. The only thing was trying to live the life. I went there and I felt comfortable. And when I got home, I forgot to take the pill for sleeping. And I slept like a baby. At the day after, we had a meeting of all the managers of the different companies of the corporation, and I was the one who lead that. And so one of the guys, the older guy that used to work with my grandfather at the company, he was also a womanizer, and he was nasty. And he said to me, listen, Ricardo, why you look so happy today? You look different. What happened to you? So I said the same thing Hugo told me. I gave my life to Jesus last night. And this guy said, you don't have to do that. you're going to ruin the relation here at the company. You're going to become a religious guy, and is not going to help the company. And so he went out of the meeting, and he went to his office, and he came back a few minutes later, and he had a Bible in his hand. He says, Ricky, I give you this Bible. And I said, how come you have a Bible? Well, my wife came to my office and put this Bible in one of the drawers of my desk. And she did that trying me to change my life if I could read the Bible, but I'm not going to read it. So I'm giving the Bible away, because if you want, you're going to use it. And that was my first Bible. So you see, I started thinking the way of the Lord. He took me from an advice from Hugo, who was my partner at this apartment. And later on, I went to an advertising agency, and they presented Jesus to me. And this womanizer gave me a Bible. That was a very strange way to know Jesus. But I spent some time, and I aparted time for reading that Bible. And Hugo did one thing that really helped me. He took me home, and he said, listen, I bought this notebook, and I started taking scriptures from the Bible and writing down in the notebook. Scriptures that really touched my heart, and I need them, and they tell me how to be a better man.
He's coming. Jesus is coming. I can't wait to hear the trumpet call. He's coming. Jesus is coming. And when he comes, we'll crown him Lord of all. And when he comes, we'll crown him Lord of all.
Lifestories Live.
And I did the same thing. That day I went to the library, a bookstore. And so I bought this notebook, and I started reading the Bible every day. And I didn't do that in my house. I went out of the house, and I found this park. And I went to the park, and under a tree there, I started reading the Bible every day and writing the scriptures that were touching me. The thing that really impressed me was that every day I felt better. Every day I was different. Something inside of me. And when I start talking and praying, I was imitating those guys at the meeting, and I asked the Lord for help in a particular area of my life, and I was getting the benefit of my prayer. And soon, in less than 4 months, I read the New Testament. the group started to grow and grow, and the place, at the advertising agency, they don't have room for everybody. So I have this place at my company that could hold about 60 people, which was the place where the employees had lunch. It's a cafeteria. And so they moved to my cafeteria, and every day I got more involved in this small fellowship we had. We used to fill the whole room with 60 people. It took us about a year, and we received visits from the States, guys that belong to the fellowship, and they invite us to be part of the fellowship. And I got more involved in faith. And one day they invite me to a meeting to share what I felt inside of me after receiving Jesus. And there was a pastor attending that meeting, and the pastor came to me and he invited me to his church. So I went to the church, and I was so happy for being there. And I asked Marta, my wife, to join me. And she he joined me, and we started going to church together. And even my life with my kids, they turned completely different. There was some kind of a love inside of me and joy to have my family with me. We took the kids to church, and my life was so filling with the good things every day. My heart had joy, the fear disappeared. I could sleep. I left all the pills that this psychiatrist gave me. And I started going to lectures. I started going to meetings. And one day, 2 years later, Marco, the leader of the fellowship, was leaving. They offered him a job in Mexico, and he made a decision. And he said, Ricky, we have to elect a board of this, and I'm going to elect you as president of this fellowship. And I became the president of the fellowship. And my life was so full of joy and changes. But every day there was a different change. Every day I have a different way of thinking. So I found out that all the slices of my pizza, my life had changed for better. One day I met Demos Shakarian. Demos came to Costa Rica, and Demos asked me to share my testimony. And I was really not prepared. But Demos also asked me to travel with him all over Central America and be his interpreter. So I took time and I joined the group of, and I went to Honduras with Demos. I went to Guatemala with Demos. I went to Salvador with Demos. And it was the first time that I started receiving a direct information about this wonderful ministry. And I was the voice that was talking all what Demos was sharing with the people. And at the beginning, I asked in the plane,
He's coming. Jesus is coming. I can't wait to hear the trumpet call.
Demos asked me, what do you think about the fellowship? And I said, Demos, the first time you asked me to speak in public, I felt that I was not doing it in a proper way. And he looked at me and he said, well, you are going to teach him how to do it. He says, but I'm asking you that I'm not trained. So you're going to learn and you're going to do it. So I learned, and I went to Houston to a seminar, training seminar. And I started learning and bringing all the material they had there, and then translated into Spanish. And I start training the people in Costa Rica and training the people in Guatemala. And from Guatemala, all the trainers went to Guatemala, and we started building this fellowship all around this Central American area. My life changed completely. I was invited to different areas of the world, and I grew in my faith so fast. And I was so involved in ministry that I became an entrepreneur of the gospel. I used to spend all my creativity and business. But now I had this call to spend my creativity, my effort for the gospel. And so I enjoyed, and I've been working for the Lord for 46 years, doing that. The life with my wife could be better. We've been married for 53 years now. The Lord gave us 4 boys. Now we have 9 grandchildren. And my kids became Christian too. They made their own decision. No, not only because they grew as Christians in their life, because they need Jesus for their life. Ricardo, who is my oldest son, one day went to one of the meetings And he was also having the same problems I had. He was desperate. He was empty. He was full of fear. And one of my friends invited him, and he went to one of the meetings and he received Jesus. And he followed my steps. Later on, after 6 years, he became the president, national president of the BMF. And he's been serving the Lord. Alan, my kid, he started another different ministry. Javier, he's a church guy. And now Paolo, he lives in Boston, and he's taking his kids to church. And I visited him about a month ago, and he asked me, Father, would you join us to go to church on Sunday with our kids? And I said, yes, Paolo, I join you. I'm so happy. I've been sharing all over Costa Rica. We have now about 700 chapters all around the country, different groups. We have a good relations with all the groups. I recently started a good relation with the old full gospel businessmen after having problems with them. And now they're full of love with us and sharing with us and sending people to share in our meetings. My life is dedicated to the Lord. I'm 74 years old, and I don't see the time that I stop serving the Lord. They call me every day. Last night, they called me to give a lecture about the Holy Spirit tomorrow in one of its chapters. Tomorrow, I'm attending this dinner, and they asked me, share with us about the Holy Spirit. My life has been wonderful. I had some problems in my health the last 3 years, and the Lord healed me. I had cancer, a very bad cancer, and I was healed by the Lord last year, completely healed. I had problems in my back. It was a very strange illness, so I couldn't walk. I couldn't move my legs. And the people in my chapter, the guys in my chapter, they pray for me, and they pray for me, and they pray for me. And today, now, every day, I go for a walk around the corner. I walk for around, and I can move. I can drive. I could drive. And so the Lord is taking care of me. About 25 years ago, we made bad decisions, bad decisions, and we went out of business. We lost everything. I lost my house. I lost even the cars, everything. And I had to make a deal with my creditors, everything I have for my debts. And I felt that the Lord was telling me, I'm going to show you how to depend on me completely. When you're a millionaire and you have a lot of businesses, you feel that you feel very comfortable because you have a lot of money. But when that money disappears, all the wellness that you're used to and you build up disappears. That's a big test for you, and I felt that the Lord just was going to show me how to live depending 100% on His promise, on His book, and He did it. We lost everything, and the Lord returned everything to me. And one of the things was that I lost, it was my name in the society here in Costa Rica, because what I had didn't cover all my debts. And there was a lot of gossip around me. But one day the Lord brought a guy, and I used to have a big farm that I used to have.
Lifestories Live. Life Stories.